The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Roethlisberger. Ebron caught left side. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try to be aggressive on their first series.
A big 3rd down pickup of 20 yards.
First down, Steelers.
He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up the 1st down.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking him for that much space to rumble.
It's the Pro Bowler Chandler Jones who makes the tackle. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And they just keep marching right along. 1st down on a pickup of 8 there.
Mike 58 right there. I'm going to come back to you.
Now Roethlisberger on 1st down. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking on the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Ready?
Roethlisberger coming up with a 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And they get to him with a pressure as Roethlisberger goes down. Chandler Jones in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
Show that bench release and go. Hey, wahoo! Let's go, let's go.
There's Roethlisberger. That's going to be caught. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Juju Smith-Schuster, his 9th touchdown of the season, as his guys can now take the lead with the extra point. Boswell good with the extra point, and they take the lead here at 7-6. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started.
Check. Fresno. Chill.
They'll start the drive with Drake. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
A gain of a yard brings up 2nd and 9 at the 26-yard line.
After one, a 1-point game, 7-6. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
You must be dreaming. 36. SOS. Go. Check 37.
2nd down, Murray sets to throw. And a catch made by Hopkins. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Let's go. He took the outlaw. Hey, tighten down. There you go. Check safety. Shift. Watch the shift. Shift. Go.
To throw is Murray. Blitz coming, and down he goes. How about the safety, Minka Fitzpatrick, swooping in for the sack. Oh, free safety blitz, that can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble, because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
Very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
He was brought down by Devon Kennard.
You can't get that.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up, because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Now it's Roethlisberger. Short little throw to Ebron. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. On 4th down, here comes the Steeler punter Jordan Berry to kick it away. Yard punt, return of 9. And the Cards will take over, 1st and 10. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked somewhere else, and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area. And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. You talked about the need for them to establish the run early. They've been able to do that here in the first half.
And that means that the whole offense has adopted that attitude and that persona. We're going to take care of this young quarterback. Let's all get together and run it and take the pressure off.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
Get ready. Get ready.
And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. There to stop him, Terrell Edmonds. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
He's coming. We got double up. Hey. Watch safety creeping.
Running from the shotgun with Drake. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
On 3rd and short, Drake. And some room to maneuver. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. Kenyon Drake with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Cardinals have retaken the lead. This time, the extra point up and good. And that'll make this a 6-point game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And you have to figure they won't just sit on the football here in the final minute. The way things have gone, they need to try to make something happen offensively.
But maybe they should. Maybe they should sit on it here because of what you just said. They haven't made anything happen offensively. Getting ready to go into the half, give them a chance to take a deep breath, exhale a little bit, and start over. I don't know if this is the time to push it myself.
Right now, under 100 yards of total offense. To the right side to Eric Ebron. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first. Roethlisberger coming up with a 1st and 10. And he's now 10 of 10 throwing the ball here to start the game. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. That'll be taken in there by James Washington. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Roethlisberger. And he's got his man on the out route. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh first. Roethlisberger coming up with a 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Again, it's Roethlisberger. And it's complete. He gets this one to Washington. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down.
Come on, let's go.
To throw again is Roethlisberger. This is caught. And he's going to take it in for a... Steeler Touchdown. Deontay Johnson, as the first half is winding down. And now they can recapture the lead if they can make the PAT. Extra point now by Boswell. And he's got it up and through.
Makes the score Steelers 14, Cardinals 13.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is taken at the 3. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
The Cardinals take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. Likely time for just one final play, and then they'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
So a very tight first half. We had to break in a one-point game. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
Adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
They get 9 yards back on the run there. They're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2.
Like 20. 7-7. Hey, watch the slant. Hey, exit. Just slant.
3rd and 2. Now Roethlisberger. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Don't be mad.
First kick, 47. This one looks good as well.
So they wound up passing on a long field goal try, but that works out for them really well. That one's down inside the 5-yard line.
And it's risky because your punter, if he puts it in the end zone, the net result not worth it, but there, I think worth it.
Flare. Switch it. Go. Switch.
Drake will start the drive on the ground. And he's upended at the 6 as they double their room to maneuver on a pickup of 3.
And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep. And on the first play, they gave up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on first down. That's what they talk about us all the time, about being ahead of the chains or on target, ahead of schedule. They were after that run.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Tyson Alualu able to drop him for a loss of 4 from his defensive tackle spot. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. Murray fighting, lost the football. And this will be gathered up in the end zone. And that's a defensive touchdown. Boswell for the extra point. And with that, the lead is up to 8.
Makes the score Steelers 21, Cardinals 13.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And they've got to be still reeling from the events of a moment ago. What a turn on that last play.
You're knocking on the door. You're about to take it in. You think you're going to get some points on the board. Instead, you cough it up and watch them take it the rest of the way to the opposite end zone. That's a 2-score swing that you just gave up. For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Running, it's Drake. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
55. Let's go, baby. Turn it over. Let's get that ball. Hey. Check 24. Check 24. Check over.
Right back to Drake. 15 yards that time, and the Cardinals move the chains.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
Alert 3, alert 3. Alert 3. You go tight. You got tight. You got tight right there. Pick the edge, pick the edge. Come, come. Check, 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 check. Chill.
On first down, Drake. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
65. 6 guys. Check 6 guys. Go, go. Watch the wolf. Check 3, check 3, check 3.
And now Murray's going to set up to throw. Eluding the pressure right. He's going to take off with it. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. Well, we know that Murray can run the football. He rushed for 1,000 yards during his final year at Oklahoma, better than 7 yards per carry. And Cliff Kingsbury says, I trust him running the football. This is a guy that has known his quarterback since 2012 when Murray was a sophomore in high school. Kingsbury was in the OC at Texas A&M. He would go on to take the Texas Tech job, but the two maintained a great relationship. Both are from Texas, both quarterbacks, and both with fathers heavily involved in their football careers. With Cliff Kingsbury, he trusts his quarterback implicitly.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes that's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
The Cardinals worst in the NFL, 6 of 16 on 4th down last year, but they'll try it here.
Big air. Under 10, under 10, 10.
They'll run. It's Drake. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. It's Cardinal football, but they trail here as we get set to bring you the 4th and final quarter. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Now Drake. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
It's our field. Hey, it's our route. Kill.
On 2nd down, here's Murray. He's going to fire one deep over. And this is caught. A big pickup of 38.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game.
Check. Hey, he's crashing. He's checking crashing.
They'll try and pound it in with Drake. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal.
Here we go. 18 data. I got one. Shoot. Yeah. Bang. Check.
They'll try again with Drake. And he is in for 6. Touchdown, Cardinals. Kenyon Drake taking it in. As they now sit just a 2-point conversion away from tying this game up in the fourth quarter.
Pick it up. Watch twitch. Check four. Check.
They're going to try and run for it. But he is not going to make it. It's a big play by the defense, and they're going to hold on to their 2-point lead. So the lead shaved to 2 now as the kickoff is away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Let's go.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
On second down, Samuels. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It'll be a gain of 17 at a Pittsburgh first. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
Out of bounds at the 46-yard line. A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Here we go. Easy.
Here's Roethlisberger. Complete. It's Johnson. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
They go play action with Roethlisberger. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 27-yard line. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Roethlisberger now. 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's Samuels. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. And his defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning.
30, quarter. It's just me and you. It's just me and you. Go. Take two of them. Record.
From the 25 on second down, Roethlisberger. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. A critical error there in a tight game in the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Second down 6 at the 24-yard line.
2 minutes remain, and that's our score differential as well. 2 points here in the fourth quarter. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. They come up on a second down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. A big spot now for the rookie Murray. They'll run with Drake, and he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
At this stage, you've got to hustle, got to get back to the line of scrimmage because you're saving that timeout to make sure you have a chance to get your kicker out there for the big shot.
Check the backer. 36.
They stay on the ground with Drake, and he'll get this one up to the 26. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
But this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football. They just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
Check safety.
Murray and company going for it on 4th. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 12 yards to pick up. Good enough for an Arizona first. Well, they got exactly what they wanted there. Out route, catch, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
And I have to criticize defense here because you know the situation. You want to keep them inbounds and have the clock run. So I'm sitting on the outside portion of the field and not letting them throw an out route. Throw anything inside and I'll make the tackle. An out route? That's not the way you're supposed to play it.
To throw is Murray. And he hits Drake. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll bring up a second down. I don't know that those medium 5-ish yard gains are going to do it right now. Probably should have dropped it, right?
Yeah, that way you save more time on the clock. But I know receivers, they think they can catch it and break the tackle and turn it into a big game.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. The Cardinals forced to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the 4th. Well, that last sack puts Murray and the Cards in a tough spot, 3rd and long.
Rush in. Hey, check 24. Hey, check 24.
Now Murray. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Terrell Edmonds comes flying in from safety for the sack.